Okay guys, this is Koji from Celestial Rhythms. This is the week, February 7th. Well, we said many times things would happen, and many things happened indeed. It's just we will find out usually much later, or it will be even now covered, because it's not yet the right time for all these past events to be unraveled and shown really truly what happened. Anyway, aside from all that, this will be the week when it's pushed into the public, believe me. This is the sun in hexagram 49 tomorrow, Sunday, early morning at daybreak, entering the hexagram 49 revolution. Now, revolution, that's a big word. And let me just go to the... Okay, now before that, just hold that thought for a moment. It's February 7, 2021. A 7-day hexagram 49. 49 is the square of 7. So this in itself shows something interesting. 21 is a number which divides by 7. So the 7 is kind of resonating. Let's put it in a simple way. It's resonating. Whatever the 7 represents is shining through stronger. So, look at this. I just reposted it. A friend of mine had made me aware of this. Post 2721. You see it? It's posted a bit less than 2 years ago. Anyway, I guess tomorrow is Super Bowl. I read here, enjoy the ride. It's a big day. Not that something will happen at Super Bowl. Hopefully not. I'm sure they have all the security in place necessary to keep it all smooth. However, chances are something really dramatic will happen tomorrow. Okay, look at this chart. Okay, I am kind of too excited. Let me go back to the hexagram 49 before we look into the chart. So, hexagram 49, revolution. The elements of this hexagram are the fire under the water and the fire evaporating the water. Water puts out fire. Makes sense. So below is, let me just show you here, let me pull up one more page here. And there's so much on the internet. I mean, really, we have to take advantage of all that information. It's the collective mind. That's what it is. I mean, we have been given a tremendous opportunity here in our present time. Nobody had for the last millions of years, probably, at least since Atlantis. Who knows how where Atlantis was. So let's say 26,000 years. We definitely have never had that much knowledge, and I think we have more than then. So, hexagram 49, that is fire, the trigram of fire, and above is the trigram of the lake, fire in the lake. And so that's the image. And let me see if I have that open too. I think I do. No, but let me just open this quickly. This is the Mayan calendar, which is important too, as we are today on the second day here of this new wave, which started yesterday with one Ben, the pillars of light, Skywalker. It is a powerful energy of holding the light, of standing strong. That's the pillars of light, also resembling the corn plant, the steadfastness, the power of the stalk, your spine. It is that centering aspect. And today is the second day of that wave, which is Ish, the wizard. Today, February 6, as I'm recording this, the Mayan calendar reads 2-ish. Just think of the sound ish. It's that dividing line between this world and that world. All shamans were chosen from people born on these days in the Mayan tradition. So it shows you something, this ability to bridge the gap, to bridge from one dimension into the other. That's the shaman's gift, the shaman's job, what he's here for, why he was born. So tomorrow now, talking Sunday, 2721, is what's called a season day. That's a special cycle hidden within the 260 days of the Mayan calendars. Around every 260 days it starts again over. They say it's galactic time. The galaxy resonates on a 260-day frequency. 26,000 years away is the galactic center from us. So everything is really wonderfully timed. 26 days is the median between the solely lunar cycle and it's a little less. 27 days is the sidereal lunar cycle. Every 27 days the moon links up with the same stars, and every 30 days, 29 and a half, that's when we have another new moon or full moon, depending. So anyway, just zooming in on the number 26, that's where I wanted to go. The sun is rotating around itself, and from Earth's perspective, this is about 26 days in average, because the sun is not a stable thing. It's a fluid, so it has convection zones, and so closer to the equator, the movement is actually faster, and then if you go closer to the poles, there it only is about 24 days, and very close to the equator it's 28 days. So the average is 26. So there's lots of that number everywhere. So 26 is a power number, and tomorrow then will be the blue electric eagle, starting what's called the burner cycle. This is the burner cycle. This is when the wheel is churned, when you give it a new spin. 3 is the electric number of activation. So it's the 3 of the 4 archetypal energies in the Mayan calendar, which is Men, the eagle, Ahau, the sun, Chikchan, the snake, and Ok, the heart, or the dog's energy, the loyal heart. So these are the 4 cardinal points, so to say, and when these are activated with a 3, that initiates what's called the burner cycle. You give the wheel a new good churn, you set the wheel of fortune in motion, kind of. It's the moment when which matters most, because if you pull with a little more, it will end up in a different place. If you pull a little less, and then it will just end up in a totally different scenario. So this is a very critical energy, the activation energy. So if we now go finally to what I wanted to show you first, is the write-up about hexagram 49. So we know the fire is in the lake, and this hexagram refers to a time in the cycle of human affairs when things are stirring up and the hint of dramatic change is in the air. How about that? Now, I should say the sun is about for 6 days in one hexagram. I still wanted to pull that up, just bear with me. I'm a little bit distracted here, talking about too many things. It's so exciting, the whole what's happening. It's so exciting. So here we go. That is the zodiac with the 64 hexagrams. That's actually my old website. I'm not able to update that anymore. thecosmoswithin.org. And there you find all these cool links of information. That's why I left that site up. It's kind of not used, but as a resource page, and you will find quite some resources. So here was one I want to show you. This is where we are right now. Okay, hexagram 49 here in between 18 degrees 52 and 30 seconds of arc. 1852 30 to 2430, and I have the exact breakdown on my website too. If you just click here the back button, then if you actually, it is below that. Actually, I'm not even knowing where things are. So here you see all the breakdown, the exact breakdown, and then even if each line moves, what hexagram that will end up in. So tomorrow, as I say, hexagram 49 activated, revolution. Let's keep reading a little bit of what this site says. This is the Chinese Book of Changes, 5,000-year-old wisdom, one of the most prolific divination tools. So anyway, the hexagram refers to a time in the cycle of human affairs when things are stirring up and the hint of dramatic changes in the air. In order to succeed, a revolution must be in alignment with the laws of nature and good timing. How about that? I think we are here very favored. It must begin at the right moment, gather support from a broad base of people, be guided by sincere and capable leaders, and most important of all, address a real need. Okay. The strength of the forces of change will always be in proportion to the urgency of the need being championed. This is true whether the revolution is in government, business, education, or your own personal affairs. So, see, that's again where the I Ching is so leaving all doors open. It can express, it can manifest in so many levels, this energy. And it actually happens on all levels at once, if we want to say it that way, particularly. So if it's a collective event, then each of us will go through a sort of revolution. Naturally, I guess that's pretty obvious. So let's keep reading here. This is a really nice site here. I just kind of Googled, or actually duck and goat. Okay. Anyway, hexagram 49, just put that into the search, and I mean, there's a whole bunch of links showing up. I'm just really always impressed how the internet is a wonderful resource. I think not enough people are using that yet. Revolutionary change ushers in a period where chaos arises from order. Okay, interesting. Chaos, that's the primordial order. That's the natural order. That's where things are unpredictable, but yet they're all connected. They're all interconnected with invisible lines, like the birds find over thousands of miles back to their nests. Things like that. There's a tremendous order which we cannot see. That's called chaos. It's a totally different meaning than the word was given in the Victorian age, where it was used to it was given a totally negative connotation of whatever disorder and now I won't want to use it. Disorder and things falling apart and nothing being really. in communion with whatever else, kind of really entropy at its highest, total disorder. So I don't think that's what chaos ever would should be called. So this is a real, we have to relearn as so many things. Anyway, it's part of that whole thing where symbols have been tainted and given wrong meanings and pulled into the dark. I guess that's a whole chapter in itself. So revolutionary change ushers in a period when chaos arises from order. Let's remember that not all order is good and not all chaos bad. Chaos often an integral part of the way things evolve, as any parent and evolutionary science will confirm. This hexagram reminds us to have the courage to radically change and renew the way we bring ourselves to life. In a way, you can channel chaos to your cause and unleash a new power on behalf of the good. If engaging in a negotiation, change the rules. If composing a piece of music, add the unexpected. If courting a lover, dare to be unconventional. Here we go. Aquarian. Yes, Aquarius is very unconventional. Combat between forces of dark and light are cyclical. As such, one can become aware of these cycles and master them through preparation. That's what we did for a long time. We are ready. In periods of drought, even wild storms are preferable to just another sunny day. A new season awaits. Yeah, okay, I'm so excited. Okay, here we have the chart of the sun's entry into hexagram 49, and I just want to focus on the sun here quickly. 18 degrees Aquarius. It's a little convoluted. You see, too many things are going on in Aquarius. So here we have Pluto rising naturally, with Arrokoth rising. Okay, we get to that in a minute. Saturn, Venus, the equatorial point, that's this meridian. Washington DC is on this meridian's ascendant at the equator, at the Earth's equator. So it's kind of a global ascendant, always a point to watch for, particularly in a collective chart. So the equatorial point you see is between Venus and Jupiter. How about that? Jupiter is the little blue line here. Venus is the light blue line here, and the east point is right here in between at 9 degrees. That's beautiful. That's really the rising of the Aquarian dream. So aside from all the trouble, which this chart shows very clearly with the Mars black moon here at the 4th house cusp for Washington, this is crisis in action. Absolutely. This is now getting real. Mars in the 4th house, resonating with that Cancer energy of the mother bear stepping in and taking charge and telling the kids where God sits, as we said in German. Anyway, so this is a kind of a taking charge moment, very big way. Okay, I have too many things to say. Let's just go back to the sun in that part of Aquarius. Now we can break down each sign into dwads, into 12 2.5 degree segments, which is kind of the fractal principle. We have 12 signs overall, and then we have subnodes of the 12 signs in each sign. So it starts with the first 2.5 degree of the sign double its own energy, so Aquarius. Then the second half, 2.5 degrees from 2.5 to 5 would be Aquarius Pisces, so Aquarius with a Pisces overtone, or whatever you call that, sidekick. Then, so if we go into where the Sun is now, okay, that is the Virgo subnode between 1730 and 20 degrees Aquarius, Virgo subnode, and then we getting into the third decant, which is generally ruled by Libra. Decants are the 3-10 degree intersections, which are very popular. All astrologers use them. The dwarfs are a little more. I haven't heard many astrologers talk about them, to be honest. So it's that Virgo undertone which is really nice. That Virgo undertone is again about service in action. It's the house of health, of doing the right thing to keep healthy. Virgo is very organized and able to take care of itself. That's kind of that beautiful, accomplished excellence we can achieve at highest. It's the harvest time of within the 12 months of the natural cycle on the northern hemisphere. Naturally, in the southern, everything is vice versa. That's a story in itself. So let's go back to the revolution here. Yeah, this is the biblical thing here. We will see these next few days. There's so much more happening this week. I don't really want to roll it all out yet. I will do a sequence of other smaller videos on separate topics of similar magnitude, which are taking place just alone in the next 6 days. So I don't want to give too much away here, but let's look at that chart here a little deeper of tomorrow early morning Washington DC, when this energy gets activated. Interesting that the opposite sign, which is always as important, so if the Sun is in this spot in Aquarius, Earth is on the other side. That's how it must be, because we are standing on Earth, we are seeing the Sun against the area in the sky which is designated to Aquarius. And if you were standing on the Sun's surface, if you just naturally it's too hot there. Anyway, but if you would look towards Earth, you would see Earth against Leo. So this is hexagram 4 over here. Hexagram 4 is youthful folly. It is that energy of play, of not really being concerned about outcomes, just to having fun. In a positive way, but also naturally it means all the inexperience and making mistakes and going through trial and error periods. So it's interesting that this is the energy resonating with revolution. It's always kind of a binary, and there's so much in this whole system. I mean, once I will have time, once we are in a better place here in our universe, on our planet, I will have time and will be able to write on this. I can definitely give a lot of wisdom here. I have learned so much. So anyway, that's just a side note. Okay, hexagram 49. Let's get back on track here. So meanwhile, okay, let's stay with the Washington chart for a moment more. Scorpio in the midheaven, transformation, easy. Hexagram 1 is up here, by the way. The 6 yang lines, the only hexagram with the full amount of male creative force. And on the other end, we have the 6 yin lines. Again, a beautiful polarity. If you go back here quickly to the hexagram structure, where do I have it? Is it here? Nope. Here it is. Okay. See, if we go to this, look at it a little smaller, then you can see it. Okay. See, hexagram 1, center Scorpio, hexagram 2, center Taurus, the receptive, the earth, the receptive earth, and the creative thunder, heaven above heaven, to be clear, the 6 yang lines, the dragon's energy also in the Chinese. So that energy is here at midheaven. So it's really divine intention at its best. Hexagram 61 rising, inner truth. The same hexagram Pluto is in. Then there's Arrokoth. Okay, Arrokoth is a chapter in itself I will cover in another of these episodes coming. Just quickly, Arrokoth is exactly at the ascendant here. And Arrokoth is in a very critical and powerful place. But again, I don't give that away. Arrokoth is about seeing the whole picture. A man standing under the open sky. It's the energy which was brought in, which really brings that enlightenment, that eureka, shells breaking open. All of a sudden you see that what's truly going on. The curtain is pulled. You see the little old man behind the curtain. That's kind of the energy of this little body. So Mercury Pallas conjunction, the sun just coming close. This is beautiful. This is showing too that yes, this is a time of realization, of understanding, of coming to a new place of relating with reality, with what truly is, cracking down on illusions, shattering them in pieces. Really, that's what it will be. Yeah. Anyway, so let's look now at the global picture of that moment for Greenwich, 0 meridian, 51 degrees and 29 minutes of arc, northern latitude. If you divide a circle, a full circle, into 7 different segments, one segment measures 51 degrees and 26 minutes in arc, and it's then a fraction of minutes, because the 7 is an irrational number. You cannot divide 1 by 7 and get a clear fraction. It will be an unending sequence of numbers after the comma, which is a nice way of introducing us to the concept of infinity. So the 7 has an aspect of infinity in it. Okay, so now let's look at this chart for a sec. This is just this blew my mind. I said I have to immediately do the video now. Now it's clear. Now I have the last confirmation. Something big is going down over the next 6 days. Okay, Sedna rising, and very exactly 27:14 versus 27:32 in the first house. And Pluto in midheaven, but in the 9th house, interestingly. So already it's the time of harvesting, if you want. The fruit has become fully ripe. The meridian has already passed Pluto. That would have been 4 minutes earlier. You see, that's the time when this is the case, when the Sun enters revolution, Earth enters that polar oracle, polar opposite oracle number 4, youthful folly. So Pluto in midheaven, I guess that's pretty clear. Don't even have to say too much on that. This is transformation. Again, Pluto is the one which breaks shells open. The planet ruling Scorpio. Sedna, the deep space traveler, was discovered, I guess, 2003 or something, and it comes back into the inner solar system from a more than 11,000 year orbit. There have been several smaller been found since of similar extreme orbits, but Sedna is substantial in size too. Sedna is probably about 1,500 kilometers to 2,000 kilometers. So Sedna is substantial body, a substantial messenger from the deep mysteries coming in, loaded with information of past times. The last time Sedna was so close in the solar system, that was probably at the height of civilizations we don't even know about anymore, because Egypt and Babylon, that's maybe 6,000 years from where we are now, 7,000 years at the most. So what's really was 12,000 years ago, we don't even know anymore. So Sedna brings back hidden knowledge. Sedna also is the one which is pushing us underwater. It's the energy of the deep and of that world of sea creatures. Sedna, there's a very powerful myth, and I invite you to Google to Duck and Go. Let's just change our language here. Let's say Duck and Go Sedna. Okay, SEDNA, DNA. You hear that? There's something hidden there which connects us to the source code. Also, Sedna is isolation, setback, abuse at worst. Sedna was very strong all through 2020. I have written and done videos on that for many times. I've mentioned Sedna. Those of you who listen to me regularly are certainly hearing me. So this is the global chart. And the Sun and here with Mercury and Pallas here at the cusp of the 11th house. How beautiful is that? The Aquarian house. Jupiter, Venus in house 10 together with Saturn. Venus actually is between Jupiter and Saturn. Another sweet confirmation that we are at a beautiful moment. We have arrived at a balancing place. Jupiter and Saturn are the architects of society, you could say. They are the two landmark planets. They put their stakes in the ground, and according to where they are, we change, we adapt. So this was a huge shift, which we barely have touched the first glimpses of what it holds. That was on December 21st, when Jupiter and Saturn had their big conjunction, which was so much was written and said about it. I guess nobody missed that one on winter solstice. Very special. So Jupiter and Saturn here have now progressed that far, and Venus in between is that ever beautiful. I mean, that whole lineup of planets here in Aquarius, it's just a visual pleasure to see that. Last time this happened, that many planets were in Aquarius, was in 1962, in February 1962. Look it up, duck and go it, what happened in February 1962. And then, okay, so this is a dramatic chart. So let's go back to the last and not least, to the midpoint between the American nation and that's the one I have to click. Right here it's hiding. Between the American nation and that moment when the sun changes into hexagram 49. Okay, here we go. So midpoints again, that's the time-space axis between the natal moment of whatever being, entity we're looking at, and the present wave of time, which we are all riding, for the better or worse, some really knowing how to surf on top of the wave, others being rolled over. I mean, yeah, it's just the way it is in life. So live and learn. So this is the natal chart of the American nation. Just a quick glance at it, and now we go back at this chart. And okay, let's first look at this in itself, because this is an entity in itself. That's the frequency which where we meet with what is. It's kind of the place consciousness sits, how we experience it. Jupiter down here, I like that. That's beautiful. And then we're coming out of this upper conjunction. I spoke about that. That just was exactly a few days ago in the midpoints, and Mercury now in Scorpio, closing in on this guy here, which I have talked about repeatedly. TX300 can be rude and rough, almost brutal, military-like. There's some of that energy coming into our consciousness. No, it won't be an easy ride. It will be difficult, but we are holding the ground. And look at that. Look at these degrees here. Just want to indicate that 5 degrees 40 Leo rising. And now go back to the American chart. See what's activated here. The North Node. Beautiful. The North Node is the evolutionary target where we're meant to go. Leo in that sense is sovereignty, freedom, self-responsible action, being the warrior, standing strong, bracing whatever is wrong, oppression and slavery and you name it, whatever is wrong in this world. It's that brave, being the hero, because we are all the heroes in that epic saga of life. Just thinking of Joseph Campbell. We are the heroes in our story, and we are the heroes now collectively. We are the ones we have been waiting for. This is powerful. This is just really showing that this is activated now at highest. We are holding the ground. And when I say we, I live in Canada, I feel so much at once with that energy which the American people were able to manifest and pull off. I'm so much with them. And so are millions and millions of people all over the globe. We are holding the ground. America is not just a geographical country, it is an idea. Juan Osaven said that, and I so much like that approach. It is an idea. It was a great, great idea by the forefathers of that nation, and they came from Europe, from all backgrounds. and they were choosing that place to initiate a new spark, a new dimension, literally plant the seed for the golden age. And we are just about arriving there. This Jupiter is beautiful. This is really showing that, yes, now it becomes obvious. That doesn't mean that everything is resolved within a week. No, not at all, by far. It is just that the breakthrough happened, and it will have its own organic rhythm for all to fall in place. But it's that big first breakthrough. You could call it a shot, which is heard around the globe, around Earth, or whatever it says in that famous line by you know whom. Anyway, that is the midpoint chart. And just one more thing I want to mention. Look at this degree, 2329 Libra. Aries, 2329 Aries. This is the midpoint chart again for October 1898. Now, if we go to what's the present chart, 2329 Aries, 2331 Aries is Eris, E-R-I-S, Eris. Eris, that's the shaker, shook up the whole hierarchy of planets, dethroned Pluto, bringing in trouble to prove her point, to bring everything to a higher order, to a better place. So it is that energy of not shying back from conflict, of going straight into it, holding one's ground, fighting the battle, doing the right thing. Anyway, I could go on here for a lot more. My doggy is bugging me. I guess it's time to stop. So thanks again for joining and listening, and you have a wonderful day, and hold the ground. Feel with the people who are going through that big awakening. Give a hand and answer questions. All that is upon us. There's lots to heal, lots to bring to a better place. The best is yet to come. Thank you for joining and listening.